Hey YouTube, I'm Ali, welcome to the channel. In today's episode we're going to be looking at Ghost Blitz and Ghost Blitz 2. Now in Germany this game is called Ghost Blitz. It's probably not called that, it's probably called something in German, but my pronunciation is Ghost Blitz, and I apologise now. Ghost Blitz is a dexterity-based game that centres around 5 objects in each box. Ghost Blitz 1 is exactly the same as Ghost Blitz 2, but with different objects. As well as those objects, you also get a deck of cards. Now, the aim of the game is to collect as many of those cards from the deck as you possibly can. The way you do that is, well, each round a card is revealed. So one player will take the top card from the deck, reveal it to everyone. Now in the center of the table are those 5 objects I mentioned. Each object is made out of wood, a nice chunky feeling piece of object. That was weird. And they're all differently colored and differently shaped. For example, you've got a gray mouse and a red sofa depicted as a wooden object. Now, on that card will be either an exact match of that object. So for example, I'll just have a quick look. Here we can see I've got a green bottle and a red book. Now the red book doesn't exist, that's a blue book, but the green bottle does. The object is simply to reach down and grab the green bottle before anyone else does. Do that and you win the card. Occasionally, you're going to find something that is not represented directly on here. What you're looking for is the object that has no reference at all on the card. So you're looking for something that it can't be red, so it can't be the sofa. It can't be a book, because a book is depicted on there. It can't be grey, so it can't be the mouse. And it can't be a ghost, because a ghost is depicted. It must therefore be the green bottle. So in this case, you're looking to grab the green bottle. There's a little bit of thought processing going on there, and it has to be done quickly because you want to win this before everyone else does. Anyway, that's how you collect cards. Collect the most cards before the deck runs out, or when the deck runs out, and you win the game. Simple. This game is very much a family game. It's perfect for youngsters, maybe less so for the older generation, I would say, because there is a lot of speed involved here in grabbing the right object as quickly as possible. Youngsters love this game, I think. My experience has been that youngsters love this game. I'll tell you who else really likes this game. This is a great pub game. Take this box down to the pub, couple of pints. So long as you're mindful of your pints not getting knocked over, this is hilarious in a bar situation because you're all grabbing those objects. Just make sure your fingernails are trimmed for this, that's all I would say. Okay, in terms of number of players, box says 2 to 8. The reality is the number of players is totally up to however many people you can fit around a table that can still reach the objects. That's the number you can play it with. I think we've played this with 10 or even 12 people, in fact. Duration, the game says 10 minutes, and the box says 10 minutes, and the game is about 10 minutes long. We've altered the rules slightly in that normally you win a card if you've correctly grabbed the right object. We've added a penalty where if you grab the wrong object and you've still got it in your hand when the winner is decided, you have to return to the deck one of the cards you've previously won, which adds an extra element and maybe adds an extra 5-10 minutes to the game. Now, in terms of type of game, this is a card game. Can you play this whilst traveling? Yeah, I think you can. Providing you've got enough space or on a train, for example, to put this out on the table. This is hilarious. This is great to play on a train table if you're fortunate enough to have a train journey with a table on it. But yeah, great game to take with you, I think. So yes, card game. Now, in terms of rules and complexity, really simple. Took us like 30 seconds. One of the fastest games to understand. Rules are really well explained, very simple to pick up, and very quick to explain to a new person. So yeah, top marks for rules on that. So very, very simple. In terms of complexity and strategy, 0. This is a very light game. It's super light, in fact. You're not thinking any more than the first. You're not thinking beyond the turn of the card. So literally, there aren't any steps here. There's no strategy here. Just grab the right object as quickly as you possibly can. In terms of interactions, this I would say is actually a direct conflict game. You are actively grabbing things, sometimes out of other people's hands. It can get quite rowdy, but hey, that adds to the fun. So long as you know each other and you respect each other, and you've, like I said, trimmed those nails. This is nothing but a a bundle of joy to play. Bundle of joy, anyway. So there we go, yeah. Interactions, direct conflict. In terms of single player or team player, yeah, there's no teams here. You're playing single player. This is absolutely a single player, everyone for themselves type of game. Now, mechanics, the first one I'm going to say is that this is a dexterity game. It requires nimbleness, it requires speed, it requires the ability to correctly grab the right object as quickly as possible. So dexterity is definitely my first mechanic. It's a dexterity-based game. The second thing I'm going to talk about in terms of mechanics is pattern matching. There is some level of pattern matching here. You've got to correctly identify what you're looking for. In fact, that's really core to the whole of this game. So pattern matching is my second mechanic. And third mechanic, I ummed and ahed about this. I'm actually going to say it's memory. I think you need to remember what was on the card, or what is on the card, even though it's visible, and what you've seen below. So I think there's an element of remembering what's currently on the card, what's in front of you, and grabbing the right thing. I'm a little iffy about that last mechanic, but I'm going to declare it as memory. Anyway, there we go. In terms of what you get in the box, I love the box here. It's a nice, small, compact box, really sturdy, perfect for travel. The components, or the little models that I mentioned before that are depicted on the cards, there are 5 of these. They're made of wood, they feel really chunky, and they're really well done. White Ghost, green wine bottle, it's probably the smallest component there, red sofa here, blue book, and grey mouse. Now, in Ghost Blitz 2, it's exactly the same game, but the objects are different. So there's a grey bathtub there, there's a female ghost, a white female ghost. That can cause a little bit of confusion. I shall just come on to that in a second. The only thing that's not made of wood in Ghost Blitz 2 is this red rug, or red carpet. And then you've got a blue bath brush, I think it is, and a green frog. One of the things I like about this game is you can mix the 2 games together and have a mighty massive deck with 10 components and a lot of mayhem. Anyway, that's what you get inside the box. Oh, cards. I didn't mention the cards. The cards are really good. They're like normal playing cards. Each one, the pictures are very clear. I don't think there's any difficulty in understanding what's being shown. It took a little while just to recognise, if I'm honest, that was a ghost. That's the only thing that caused a bit of issue. But we soon got over it. Apart from that, you get the rule book, which is a multi-language rule book. Very simple to understand, not difficult to read at all. Yeah. For theme and mechanics, yeah, it's an odd choice of objects. I mean, literally, they could be any random 5 objects. But I'm okay with it. I'm okay with what they've chosen. Ghost Blitz, why is it called Ghost Blitz? Not really sure I understand. There's no story behind it. There's no little preamble about how it got its name. Like I said, it's called Ghost Blitz in Germany, or it's not, as I keep saying. It's probably called something in German, and I'm just butchering that, but that's by the by. The point is, I don't really understand what the story is here. I don't see what it's got to do with ghosts, other than there is a ghost as an object. Does that stop it being a fun game? No, it doesn't. But just saying, Ghost and the theme and the mechanics, nah, they're okay. It's an okay mix. It could have been any other random choice of objects and another name, and you would still be the same game. Did I make meaningful decisions? You do, but they're lightning fast and they don't add to strategy. So yes, there are meaningful decisions. You've got to choose the right thing and grab it and be sure that you're grabbing the right thing. And then I guess choose to whether or not you're going to let go at the last minute or not. So there are some meaningful decisions to be taken. In terms of multiple paths to victory, there are 0 multiple paths to victory. You just need to grab the right thing at the right time. And that's it. So 0 multiple paths to victory. It's a one-trick game, this, I'm afraid. In terms of luck and skill, they are actually well balanced. You shuffle up the deck and you're good to go. It'll take a fair amount of time for someone to memorize the deck enough to be able to recognize and instantly know what to pick up. So there's still some calculation being made by your brain as soon as you see the card. And if you mix the 2 games together, then my God, that's a big old task to decipher. So yeah, luck and balance are really well balanced, I think. Luck and skill really well balanced. One thing I will say is that there's nothing learnt. You don't get better at this game, I don't think. Oh, maybe you do. I was about to say I don't think you get better at this game, but I think perhaps you do get better at this game because you're learning to decipher what's on the card quicker. So I'm going to take that back here. You probably do learn. I was going to make the point that I think a new person and a seasoned player will probably start off on a level footing. But now I'm rethinking that and thinking that a seasoned player might have an added benefit of just thinking in a particular way. So he might have a little bit more of a benefit in playing. Anyway. Question 4 is, are you engaged? Yeah, absolutely you're engaged. This thing is over in seconds. Each turn, rather, is over in seconds. You're madly trying to decipher what to do. You're very much engaged all the way through. And like I said, games last 10-15 minutes. So, I mean, if you can't keep your attention for 10-15 minutes, well, then you've got other issues, I think. Iconography and clarity of text, very, very good in this game. Really, really like the pictures, really like the chunky components used. Everything's very, very obvious to me on how to use, how to hold, how to play. So yeah, really good marks for that. Ghost Blitz, or Ghost Blitz, as I keep failing to say in German, is a really good game, I think. It's a great game to play with kids. I don't think I mentioned it before, but really you can play this with 5-year-olds and above, and I think the box says 8, but they will really surprise you as well. I played with the youngster thinking I'll take it slow and easy for them and give them a chance. Nope, they absolutely wiped the floor with me. They're very, very quick at deciphering these cards and matching them up with what should be picked up. So great game for youngsters, I think. It's a great game to take with you as well, I think, on a picnic or to the bar or in a restaurant if you're waiting for food to be served. It's a quick little game to take out and play. Doesn't take too many components. Not everyone's going to stare at you as if you're mad. Well, maybe they will, but that's something to do with the game. So yeah, I really like this game. Well, that's my review over and done with. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, give me a thumbs up. If you like this particular series of game reviews, consider subscribing to the channel. Or if you're interested in some of the other stuff that I'm doing, like investigating game design and understanding what it takes to build a game, I do think that this is the kind of game I'm going to start with when it comes to designing myself, because it's nice and simplistic and easy to understand, but still quite a lot of fun without too many rules. So yeah, I think this is the kind of game I'm going to get into. Anyway, if you like any of that stuff, consider subscribing to the channel. It would all be appreciated. Until next time though, guys, take care.